Well, hello parents. This is the video for you for PupScouts class number 7. Sorry, I'm a little parched. Today was really fun. Really fun. And the dogs did excellent. Almost perfect. But really, I mean, it's almost, they're so good, generally speaking, with everything they've learned, like, that it's hard to train them. In other words, they're acting so perfect, like this. I stop, they stop. I didn't even say anything. So how can I keep teaching them stop? Right? Like they're advanced. I mean, the point is, we've been working on all these things, and they're just doing great. They have picked up things really fast. We started working on to the right, to the left. I believe we started that last week, and it's a really hard one to teach, well, for them to learn. The concept is just challenging. However, what I've noticed is when we get to the intersections, they stop for the most part. They intuitively stop because they know, since I've been practicing this with them a bunch of times now, whatever direction they head in, I go the other way. And they've learned over these weeks, maybe we should just wait at the intersection. Let's see what Toby chooses. And then at that point, when we're stopped, I say to the right, to the left. I use my arm to point, and they're really catching on. They're mostly guided by my arm at this point. At some point, they might learn the actual words. Other than that stuff, I mean, they're getting along amazingly well. Oh, just as I say that, I'm like, where's Elle? she's back there, I'm sure. Elle, come! Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Don't tell me. She was just with us. Literally, as soon as we hit the van and I started making this video, I swear, she was there at that time. All right, well, let me turn around. Speaking of which, the only problem we had, and it wasn't really a problem because, I mean, Elle is on a tracker. She's on a tracker forever, I think, because she's a quirky, funny dog that does things that don't always make sense to me. She was like right near us, but she wouldn't come back because she was exploring something in the forest. So even though I was calling her, she could hear, I was whistling, she could hear. I was basically just watching her on the map, on the Garmin collar. There she is. Well, what were you up to? What were you doing? She keeps licking. Every time she comes back, she licks her lips, so that might be part of what's happening. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't know. Let's see, I should probably review all those things that I texted you earlier in the day, and let's see if we go through the checklist, what they, if there's anything to tell you from those. And I wasn't following them specifically while we were out here. All right, so vehicle etiquette. Oh, so I'll tell you, I mentioned it in the longer video. Sunshine is still making noises, although they're not as frantic and loud as, before. I did stop the van a few times to work with her on saying no whining. Yes, you. And so she is learning, sort of. I'm using the e-collar. Thank you for bringing it and having it charged today. That was great. The number she's on, I believe she was on number 13 or 14. I don't know if it's totally effective. Usually if you do it at a number that is impactful to them, where they're like, oh, that was weird, it happened when I whined. Well, then they'll whine again, it'll happen again. And they're like, I don't like that feeling. And then a third time, and by usually the third time, if you're doing training effectively and it's at the right number, by number 3, they're going to start to catch on. They're going to stop whining. And I push that button enough times it wasn't high enough, is my point. So I'm gonna experiment with higher numbers. And I increase numbers just to show everyone knows about e-collar stuff. I increase numbers, well, depending on if it's a 1 to 100 scale or, you know, the sport dog, which is 1 to 7 usually. Well, the sport dog, only 1 at a time. And the mini educator, maybe 2 points at a time, I'll increase. So I don't do any drastic jumps. I was just going through the list. Okay. Okay, they're perfect. Off-leash recall. Honestly, like I said, like Yuji and Sunshine, well, Yuji went off with Jonah sometimes, but he came back. He came back every time I called. But generally, they're just with me. So, stop. 100%, they got it pretty much. This way, they have it. Obstacle confidence. We didn't do as much of that as I thought we might today. Mostly, well, it's a long story, mostly because it was a very slippery ground with the dirt bike. So I couldn't stop as many times as I will in the future at a different location. Easy, I did practice that with them. Just slowing down on the dirt bike. Drop it, leave it. We didn't have the opportunity today. Go get water. I did try that with them, but it just seemed like they weren't thirsty. Like when we got to streams and creeks, I would say it, but like they're like, we just drank out of a puddle, so we're fine. So, you know, they didn't get to practice that as much. It's hard, you know, when it's been raining. They have ample opportunities to drink out of puddles that are just rainwater. Go ahead. I did practice that with them. I got off the dirt bike. We hiked a little bit. We did some mushroom hunting, and we did some wandering in the forest. Are you an angel? And I did use that on a narrow herd path for deer. Go ahead, and they did great. The only problem is, which again, it's not really a problem. It's actually exactly what you want. But Sunshine and Yuji and Elle, when she's focused, they just end up going behind me after I say go ahead. So I think the key to that kind of training is going to have to be actually like on a drop off, you know, not quite a cliff yet, but you know, something where like they really have to stay ahead of me and I will be very serious about it. They can't circle back, right? So we'll just have to get to a trail like that. And I know of one. I know of a few, but I know of one that will work well for us. And whoa, and go back. We didn't practice that one as much today. Yeah, go back and stay back. Not so much. Wait for me, a little bit. But anyway, they did excellent. All right. As far as homework, you know, I mean, I don't want to give you guys too much homework, but if you want to reinforce these things, mostly I want to know at this point if all of these items, if you can practice all of these items that I've listed and sent to you when they're on leash or when they're off leash. I want to know, number one, is it translating to on leash behavior? Number two, is it translating to you from me, right? Because you and I do things differently, say things differently. We have different timing. We have a different tone of our voice. The contexts are different. Are they being as excellent with you as they are with me? So that's really your homework, is to evaluate that going down all these commands. All right, bye. Thanks for watching. Two things I forgot to say. Number one, we went quite the distance today. We went a distance that, you know, a regular adventure group could go. So 9, 10, 11 miles or so. So not too shabby on that. Also, in this time of year, I sell chanterelles that I find, but usually I want to know ahead of time. Like, if you want them, I'll get them for you. but you know, I don't want to pick them if like nobody's going to take them. So please let me know ahead of time. I bring a scale to weigh them, or I weigh them at home and prepare a bag for you. And basically I just do like, you know, your typical price at the grocery store minus, I don't know, $2 or something. So, bye. Hello and welcome to PupScouts class number 7. So first thing I want to tell you is I'm transitioning now to using boring treats. So, I mean, they're flavored, you know, they're medium, maybe. But I don't want the treats to be the PupScouts' main interest at this point. I want them to, now that they know the routine, they know how much fun this is, they're going to be motivated to keep going for the adventure, for the fun, for the playing with their friends. You can see everyone's here today, and I'm excited to see what happens today. We're going to practice tons of things, so get ready for action. So it's a PupScouts day. So far, we have worked on patience. We just started on the dirt bike, but before this, we were in the vehicle. And of course, nobody wants a dog that is so excited and annoying that you just want to let them out of the vehicle and just let them run free, because then you're setting yourself up for bad things to happen. In a parking lot, with other dogs, just craziness, crazy, frantic energy, which could make you forget things in your car or not lock the car or whatever. It just screws with concentration if your dog is going ballistic. So I stopped the vehicle a few times, especially for Sunshine. It seems to me that Elle and Yuji are doing well with that, but maybe it's just because they're nonverbal, but the verbal part is the part that at least bothers me and probably most humans. So that's the thing I'm focused on. Today I was able to use Sunshine's e-collar to help assist, and it's on a very low level. It's on about a 13 or 14 out of 100 on the mini educator. It might be a little too low. I'm kind of seeing if that works. That's the number her parents started her on. So, you know, we'll see. But I was trying to indicate to her, anytime she starts whining, she's going to feel that feeling, which tells her to please stop. So we'll see if that has a good effect. I think it might have already, but, you know, it's going to take some weeks. And then I took some time to, you know, get our gear together, get the dirt bike together, and all the usual stuff. But I also kind of took it a little slower just to practice with them being calm. So what I've seen a lot with my dog packs, if one dog starts going crazy, it's going to be a contagious energy that makes everyone go crazy. And with that energy can come scuffles and things of that nature, where everyone, you know, it boils over, because right now we only have how many dogs? 5 dogs, 6 dogs? We have 6 dogs. But if there's a pack of 14, you know, that's a lot more energy. And so I've seen dogs pick on other dogs, scuffle with other dogs in those cases. So we're trying to avoid that by just being really patient when we first get out of the car. And they did really well. So we're on a road right now. It's a very infrequently used forestry road. And there are lots of turnoffs. So I'm going to practice this way with them. I'm saying that quietly and not in the same tone that I use with them. So anytime they start to go one way, maybe I'll even trick them and pretend I'm going this way. And ultimately what I want to look for is that they don't go ahead of me in any direction. So you can see Poppy, she's the pro. She's our influencer, and she's doing a perfect job because she knows, oh, Toby might go to the right or to the left, like I have no idea. So she just waits at the intersection itself. Jonah doesn't care because he's always running around anyway. But even Elle, she pretty much stopped at this intersection. So this is excellent. All right, so I'm going to start doing this way. This way! All right, I've got some very squeaky brakes today. They need some attention. So that was great. They've got that down perfectly at this point. Hey, sunshine, easy. Good. Okay. Okay. Stop. Poppy, stop. So over the past few years, I developed an idea because of all the other years of observation and sometimes frustration with dogs in the first part of the day. So what I found is dogs need about 45 minutes of like real hardcore exercise before they're ready to super focus. Some dogs don't need that. Some dogs need less. Some dogs could need more, but probably not. I work with the most active dogs. So right now I'm just practicing the easiest things for them, and we're doing a warm-up, and then once a little time passes and they, get some of their wiggles out, is what I say, then we'll start to really practice and really focus in on multiple commands at once and in a series and also in repetition. Check out these teeny tiny little mushrooms. And if you notice, some are brown, some are pink, some are black or brown, some are gray. I mean, look at these crazy looking ones. Whoa, thank you, Elle. Look at that color. So I'm really bad at filming while on difficult terrain, but I want you to see Yuji as an example, because these PupScouts are so well behaved and they've been so receptive to training. If I try to move over on the trail, he moves away. He'll go to the other side. No matter where I move, he's getting this way. And all of the wild pups are. At this point, they're following me perfectly. They're giving plenty of space and really excellent space all around my dirt bike. And truly, it was not hard to teach them this. Are you having fun? Are you having a good time? One-handed is so dangerous. The PupScouts are doing amazing. So we had a moment where Eleanor decided to go do her own thing, which is not surprising. I mean, we were walking on a road that I know has a lot of animal activity. So the weird thing that I don't understand is she was right near us and I was calling her and she was just doing her own thing. She didn't like come to us, even though, I was like a minute away from her. It was interesting to watch her course on the map. Pretty confusing. I even used her e-collar to give her a little, signal, and that didn't work. So, we're gonna have to adjust the settings on that, I believe. But yeah, that part's a mystery. Other than that, we've had a great day. I mean, these guys, gosh, I'm so proud of them. Frankly, I was trying to practice a bunch of different commands that are really important ones, but they are so naturally good at this point that they don't even get into those situations where I can even tell them those things. I mean, honestly, if they were in a regular wild pup pack at this point, I'd consider them like really good dogs, really good adventurers. Yeah, so